Hello, your friends at mybullyboss.com. Understand bullying in the workplace is widespread and is a real issue with serious consequences.
Chances are, if you work with others, you'll be bullied at some point in your career. In the United States, where the practice is being studied, according to a Zogby International survey, an estimated 37% of workers, or about 54 million people, have been bullied at the office or repeatedly mistreated in a health-harming way. The percentage balloons to 49% of workers, 71.5 million people, when witnesses are included. The problem is, however, unless you're at the receiving end of severe abuse, you're unlikely to realize it.
That's a serious problem that affects many people. Forbes.com suggests there are 10 signs you may have a bully boss. Here's the first. Does work mean misery to you? If you often feel like throwing up, or are particularly anxious the night before the start of your work week, experts say there's a good chance you're experiencing workplace bullying. While few people look forward to Mondays, they shouldn't cause you to feel physically ill.
For the second on our list, do you receive constant criticism? If the criticism from your boss or coworker never seems to stop, despite your history of objective competence and even excellence, a bully might be to blame. Experts say workplace bullies also tend to have a different standard in mind for their targets.
Is there a lot of yelling in the workplace? Overt workplace bullies tend to make their feelings known by yelling. If you are frequently screamed at, insulted or humiliated in front of others, you're probably being bullied.
Does your boss remember your mistakes? If your boss or coworker seems to keep a file of your mistakes and constantly refer to them for no constructive reason, you're likely being bullied. Falsely accusing you of errors is another common tactic.
For the fifth item, a covert office bully is more likely to spread destructive gossip and lies about you and your performance, rather than scream at you in front of your coworkers. Failing to stop the spread of a rumor can be an act of bullying too.
Are you excluded from lunch or meetings? If you feel like you're being singled out and/or isolated by your coworkers or boss, socially or physically, experts say you're probably being bullied. That can mean having your desk moved or not being invited to meetings or even lunch.
Do you always need mental health days? If it seems like all of your paid time off is being used for mental health breaks, to get away from the misery of your office, it could be because you're being bullied. Other signs include spending your days off feeling lifeless or your family members showing frustration over your constant obsessing about work.
Another way a boss can be a bully is through sabotage. A workplace bully may try to find ways to ensure that you fail at your job. Examples include changing rules on the fly that apply to your work or not performing tasks crucial to your success, such as signing off on details or taking calls.
Does your boss make your schedule impossible? A workplace bully won't hesitate to change your schedule to make your life more difficult. If your boss always schedules last-minute late meetings on the days when he knows you're taking night classes or you have to pick up the kids, for instance, he or she may be a bully.
The final item refers to stolen work. You've been working day and night for weeks on a project that's now getting good buzz at your office. If your boss or coworker steals the credit and has a habit of doing so, you're being bullied.
Experts say there's a general lack of awareness about the bullying and the types of behaviors the term encompasses. This often prevents people from realizing that a boss or coworker is a bully.
There's also an element of personal shame involved. It is like you are sinking into a really bad state emotionally, finding it harder to go to work, and it might even affect your job performance. Oftentimes people don't put the pieces together until it's too late.
While hard to quantify, workplace bullying is clearly costly for employees as well as employers.
About 45% of individuals targeted by bullies at work suffer stress-related health problems. That could include cardiovascular problems, an impaired immune system, debilitating anxiety, and even post-traumatic stress disorder. Companies pay in employee turnover, employee absenteeism, and, to a small extent, workers' compensation claims. Bullies can tarnish an organization's reputation and ability to recruit, since word gets around when employees are miserable and leaving in droves.
New research by University of Manitoba's M. Sandy Hershkovitz and Julian Barling, of Queen's University in Ontario, also shows that workplace bullying is hurting employees more than sexual harassment, causing more job stress, less job commitment, and higher levels of anxiety. Yamada and the Workplace Bullying Institute have been promoting state legislation that asks employers to address the issue and give victims legal recourse, which they currently only have if the bullying is related to a protected status, such as race. but critics counter that such legislation creates a serious liability risk for companies.
Regardless of the legislation or your company's individual policy, workers have to recognize the problem before anything is likely to change. If you're physically ill the night before the start of every work week, take a minute to think about whether it's because you're being bullied. While more overt signs might include a boss who has a habit of yelling at you in front of your coworkers, or making belittling or critical comments about your work during meetings, some behavior is more insidious. Ever get excluded from a group lunch or team meeting? That might qualify as bullying too. If you're looking for advice, visit mybullyboss.com for some suggestions.
Submit your email address to receive a special report on how to bust the office bully. This report will recommend rational ways for you to tell your stories to colleagues, bosses, or human resources while managing your emotions.
Emphasizing your competence and showing consideration for others' perspectives is also crucial, but if you feel like your company supports this kind of negative behavior, you may have to consider other options. Visit mybullyboss.com now for your free report.
Today is the day for you to take action. You can do it as thousands of others have done. Visit mybullyboss.com and start taking back control of your life.